Hello my loves and welcome to the Perfume Realm. My name is Manahil and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 10 fragrances that I think would be perfect for Eid, which is a Muslim holiday, or for any formal occasion, a holiday, something that you're going to be getting a little bit dressed up, basically just a celebration. So if you're looking for fragrances like that, definitely stay tuned. But before we get into the video, I just wanted to say, if you're interested in joining the realm, I highly suggest clicking the subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you can stay up to date on everything that is happening here. It is totally free to subscribe. However, to me, it is truly priceless because I appreciate every single person who takes the time to click on that little button. You are supporting me and helping me grow when you do that. Also, when you like and comment, all of that really boosts engagement and tells me that you like what I'm creating. So definitely, if you want to take the time to do that, I truly do appreciate it. So right now it is Ramadan and it is the last 10 days of Ramadan, meaning that Eid is just around the corner, and I love Eid, so I decided to kind of get dressed up for this video in Eid wear. This is not what I'm going to be wearing for Eid. I actually have a different outfit, but this is the one that I chose for this video. I thought the white kind of went with the whole spring thing, and yeah, I was just feeling myself, so I decided to kind of go all out. These fragrances that I'm going to show you are definitely more of a dressy fragrance. To me, these are not casual fragrances or ones that I typically wear when I'm just kind of lounging around. Like sometimes I will, you know, I'll reach for these, but these are definitely ones that kind of make me feel a little bit dressed up. And in my household, you get very dressed up for Eid, and in a lot of Muslim households, it's a time to really get a little fancy. So these are my fancier fragrances. So before we transition into the actual list, I do want to bring attention to other Muslim creators, my fellow brothers and sisters who are in the FragCom, because I have an incredible network here in the FragCom with all of these different Muslims, and it's great because, you know, when Ramadan is around or Eid is coming or anything Muslim related, there's this little community within the FragCom, like a little sub community of Muslim brothers and sisters, and we come together and we support and encourage one another. And honestly, that's the very Islamic thing to do. Islam is all about unity and love, so to me the FragCom Muslim community has definitely come through with all of the love. So I will link down below as many Instagram accounts and YouTube channels of perfume and fragrance reviewers who are Muslim. I was gonna shout them out right now, but there are a lot of names that I'm gonna go through, so definitely stop, pause the video, go down below and check out these wonderful creators. They're not just amazing Muslim creators. In general, their content is fantastic and I cannot say enough good things about them, so definitely go check them out down below. So now let's actually get into the fragrances. I know I can go on and on. I'm going to start my list off with the most opulent and luxurious fragrance in my collection, and that is Hedonist by Victoria Minya. I'm very careful with how I use her because she is so lavish, and I think that Eid is the perfect time to kind of go and spritz this baby on. It's funny because the scent name is Hedonist. A hedonist is someone who lives for pleasure. They just want to maximize pleasure in every single way they can, and Muslims are actually a lot more about moderation. So it's just a funny kind of ironic thing that I am suggesting this, because this is extremely hedonistic when it comes to the scent as well. So it's perfectly named, very aptly named, because this to me is the strong golden elixir. It truly does smell golden to me. The color of those bohemian crystals in there is the scent that I get. So there's actually peach and rum in here, which to me combine to create this gorgeous honey accord, a very sticky, very sweet honey. There's also osmanthus in here, there's vanilla, there's tobacco. It's piercingly sweet. There's no restraint here, but at the same time, it's very mature. This isn't like a sugary sweetness like some sort of manufactured dessert or like candy or anything like that. The sweetness is very, very mature. The tobacco in here gives it this faintly dirty background too, which is really interesting and intriguing to me. So that's what I really love about this scent. There's something very intriguing and thrilling about it. I feel like $1,000,000 when I do wear this scent. And again, I'm very sparing with it because it's so special to me, and I kind of hoard it a little bit, and I should spray it more and enjoy it. So this is actually going to be my scent of the day for this Eid, and that's why I also wanted to share it first, because this is the one I'm actually planning on wearing for Eid. But I think in general, like, this is something so fancy. If you were going to the Oscars, this is definitely something that could complement your custom Oscar de la Renta dress, or, you know, whatever you're wearing as you're stepping out of the Aston Martin. I think that this one will definitely match that level if you're dressed up like that. I'm not going to be. It's going to be a quarantine or COVID Eid, but at least I'll feel like a movie star when I'm wearing it. So Hedonist by Victoria Minya. Okay, so the next scent I'm going to be sharing is Labelle from Jean Paul Gaultier, and I'm super confused right now because I was always under the impression that there were 3 notes in here, but I went to Fragrantica right before creating this video just to check on the notes, and now there's like 10 different notes listed, and I'm really confused because that's not what was listed before. But Fragrantica does have a tendency to have, like, you know, the notes a little bit mixed up sometime. For me, this is strongly a pear, vanilla, and vetiver scent. This is a sticky sweet scent, but the vetiver is really what kind of makes it a little bit more on that mature side. It kind of brings this earthiness to the party, so there is that just searingly sweet pear just dripping with juice, super juicy. And then there's also the vanilla, which is a beautiful round, full, voluptuous vanilla, and then there is the vetiver. I think that this is a fabulous fragrance. I'm a huge fan of this one. I have not yet tried the intense version. I really do want to, but I have not gone for it yet. Labelle performs fantastically on me when it comes to the elevator test. Projection wise, it will definitely fill up an elevator. The sillage is really good for this one too. I do feel that she is a memorable fragrance, which is really important to me because these super sweet gourmand fragrances can often kind of pale a little bit when you compare them to all of the other offerings on the market. You know, there's so many, they become so repetitive that it just doesn't seem to be something that would stand out. I feel like Labelle definitely does stand out. She is va-va-voom right here in the bottle. That's how she smells. She smells curvy, she smells delicious, she smells thick. So I am a huge fan of this juicy beauty right here. All right, next up we have a fragrance that I don't believe is talked about enough. This is my favorite designer oud by far, hands down. This is Gucci Intense Oud. Now this is extravagant to me. It's a plush scent, so soft and velvety and thick. The oud in here has this kind of sweetness to it that I really do enjoy. But there's just this kind of force in the core of this scent that really makes it project and makes it so dominating. Like, this is a very like dominating fragrance. If you are wearing this scent, all of the other fragrances around you are going to be the submissive, because there's nothing that can really beat the power of this scent. But it doesn't only command attention because of how strong and beast mode it is, it's also because of how gorgeous it is. It's a simple oud, not too many frills around it. But if you are someone who really enjoys oud fragrances, then this is definitely something that I highly suggest trying out. So this has leather in it, it has incense, it has amber. To me, the leather is so supple, it's almost like suede. It's so smooth and creamy that it really kind of comes off as suede to me, but it is a leather note that's very smooth. and it's 100% unisex in my opinion. So if you are looking for a standout fragrance for Eid or for any celebration, let's say you're going to the opera, I highly recommend checking out Gucci Intense Oud. Wear her with your pearls and your emeralds and she will definitely rock with you like jewelry. All right, next up we have a Mugler fragrance, and this one is Angel Muse. This scent is so addictive to me, honestly. It's sweet, hazelnut, thick, chewy, and decadent. Honestly, this is a very decadent and affordable fragrance. You can find this one for really, really good prices. So if you're looking for something really rich and, you know, luxurious, but you're not trying to spend like crazy amounts of money, then I think that this one is a great way to go. Again, I'm suggesting this for Eid, but I think that this could go for any fancier occasion. This is not something I wear when I'm just chilling at home. This is not something I would wear with like my pajamas or lounge pants. This is something I wear when I'm going out for an occasion. When there's a nice special occasion, I will pull this baby out and will make me smell so delicious, but not in a childish gourmand way, but more of a refined gourmand way. Okay, I have another special occasion fragrance for you. This one is L'Interdit Intense from Givenchy. So I actually am a huge fan of the original. I actually prefer that one more than this one, but I love both of them. Like, I adore both of them. That one is just my favorite. However, this really seems to be a lot more appreciated compared to the original one, at least from what I've seen recently. I've seen people say that they like this one more than the original, but I can say that this one is a lot more unique than the original L'Interdit. This one is definitely kind of more of a standout fragrance. Very unique. It does have the tuberose that the original does, but it goes in a very different direction. There's also orange blossom in here, there's black pepper, there is sesame, there's patchouli, vetiver, and vanilla. So this is a very full scent. It is smooth, intriguing, and elegant. And if you love a good sweet tuberose and orange blossom, this one is a very unique one compared to a lot of the tuberose and orange blossom offerings that are on the market nowadays. I do think that the standout player in here is the sesame. The sesame makes this a little bit more earthy, and it also kind of adds this bread-like or weedy type of tone, which makes this a lot more of an elevated scent. It makes it a lot more interesting. Like, if it comes down to the original and this one, I will wear that one more for, you know, every day, or not something that is too fancy. But when I am planning on getting really dressed up, I go for this one. The sesame just adds this kind of complexity that I really appreciate in the scent, and I think it is wonderful for special occasions and for Eid. Next up, we have Portrayal for Women from Amwaj. I think that it is a wonderfully easy to wear jasmine without being a boring jasmine scent. This has the jasmine in it, it has tobacco, it has elemi, and it has vanilla. It's a really nice dry jasmine with this kind of smokiness to it. It definitely has a strong Middle Eastern touch, at least for me. I definitely associate this scent with the Middle East a little bit, just because of that really rich smokiness that kind of fills out the entire scent. It definitely has this kind of resinous feel to it as well. But again, it's not like a sticky resin, it's definitely more of a dried out resin. This is for someone who wants to smell incredible during Eid but doesn't want anything too overwhelming. I also think that this is a very good scent for the morning. So like, if you have a very special occasion but it's being held in the morning and you want to smell fancy, but again, not too much, not too heavy, not something like you would wear in the evening, then I do think that this one is a great way to go. Next up, we have my baby Instant Crush from Montserrat. This one is hands down one of my favorite fragrances to wear for anything formal. This one just dances on my skin. It makes me feel like I'm celebrating something, and it also makes me feel very, very fancy and lavish as well. I think that this one is perfect for a party or an evening event, something of that sort. And I like to mention this every single time. It is said to be one of the dupes for Baccarat Rouge 540, and I personally think that's a huge injustice to this scent. To me, it's a lot more interesting, it's a lot more complex and filled out. When I smell Baccarat Rouge, I smell like the outline of a paper, but when I smell this scent, I smell the final draft, like a full filled out paper with a thesis and a conclusion and everything in between in the body paragraphs. But then Baccarat, it's a beautiful scent, but it's like a really good outline where, like, if a teacher was to read it, it's like, okay, I see where you're going to be going with this essay. Now go, you know, fill it out. Go actually do the essay. And that's where this one comes in, the complete, full, and dense paper. But I do think that this is a celebratory fragrance for sure. Okay, now we have Tom Ford Black Orchid. This is a controversial fragrance. It is either adored or it is hated. I am definitely one who adores this scent. I think that this is one of the most expensive smelling fragrances that I have, and it's a showstopper. I have never worn this and not gotten a compliment before. This is also 100% unisex, so if you are someone who doesn't want something a little bit too feminine or too masculine, you want something a little bit more ambiguous or something a little bit more in the middle, I think that this one perfectly sits in that kind of neutral unisex category because it has elements of both kind of masculinity and femininity coming together. And I think when you are indulging in your Eid activities, this is something that can definitely add in the indulgence as well. Okay, so the next offering, I'm actually going to combine two, just because these are both from the same house, Maison Lancome, and because I would consider both of these pretty similar to each other. I think that Oud Bouquet is definitely going to be more of the mass appealing option, whereas Roses Berberanza is definitely a little bit more on the challenging end. However, they are both exceptionally potent. The roses in here are those really rich and full Lancome roses. Very, very plush, very red. Both of them are completely bright red roses. This one does have that oud power to it. It definitely packs a punch. This one definitely has a challenging opening. There's this pistachio note that I adore that in the beginning has this kind of tendency for people to kind of be a little bit, whoa, it's a little bit much. I would say it smells kind of like a citronella candle that people burn to keep mosquitoes away. That is definitely there in the beginning. I personally really enjoy it, but I do know that it is challenging. So I would never suggest blind buying this one. But if you already have it, you have a decant or something, think about trying it out for a special occasion because I think it is a very fancy scent. And then Oud Bouquet, of course, I think it's talked about a lot. So if you're not familiar with it, you will definitely find a lot more videos of me talking about this one in depth. So I'm not going to go any further, but both of them are definitely options for Eid. Okay, next we have Terracotta from Guerlain. So I've talked about this a few times recently, but I had to add it again because I think that this is a really good option for people who are truly not trying to go for anything too heavy, because most of the fragrances that I listed for this video are incredibly heavy. I think the lightest one that I mentioned was Labelle. I think that was like the most chill one that I mentioned. This one does have this kind of translucent quality, so it's definitely there. It's not something that you spritz and it's like water and it dissipates and it's gone. It is going to be there with you, but it is not heavy. It definitely has a very beautiful jasmine in here, and for me, when a white floral is done right, there's nothing more fancy and elegant and beautiful than a really well done white floral. And this one is a, you know, home run by Guerlain. It is a jasmine scent, but it has that really light airiness to it that is great, especially since this is going to be, you know, a spring summer Eid here. I mean, it is the spring basically, so it could be possibly very, very warm. So if you aren't trying to wear something way too heavy, then something like this is a great way to go. And it is the lightest one that I have. Again, if you want more details about this, I have plenty of videos discussing this one. I also have a review of this over on my Instagram page. And by the way, you guys, I did create a TikTok. I finally made a TikTok because I realized there's actually a huge fragrance community over on TikTok that I really did not know existed. So I'm really happy that I went on and created one, because there's some great fragrance related content over there. But yeah, if you have a TikTok, go follow me. I think that you would enjoy my content over there as well. It's a lot more short form content too. So if you're like, okay, she talks way too much over here, follow me on TikTok. Trust me, I don't have the option of talking too much. They cut you off. And if you like to read, then definitely go on Instagram, because I actually, you know, do long, in-depth reviews, but I like type them out and everything. You guys know how Instagram works, I think. But yeah, all of that information will be down below, probably under all of the Muslim brothers and sisters who I linked, which I hope you guys check out. I really do. All right, last but not least, we have Bon Bon Couture, and this one is from Viktor and Rolf. So you guys are probably either familiar with Flower Bomb or Bon Bon, which are both really, really popular scents by Viktor and Rolf. This one is the flanker to Bon Bon, and I think that, again, this is a good option for someone who doesn't want something too heavy. Basically, this takes the caramel aspect of the original Bon Bon, but it aerates it a little bit with this muskiness that is really nice. I think that this is the kind of more like light feminine scent, whereas the other fragrances I talked about are very, very rich and full and curvy. And then the Terracotta by Guerlain is not, you know, full or dense or anything. It's very translucent, but again, it has that kind of warmth to it. This one I wouldn't say is like super warm. I think that this one has a more lighter and cooler feel to it as well. All right, my loves, thank you so much for joining me here today and sharing your valuable time with me as I sit here and chat about perfume with you all. I do hope that you guys are having an incredible Ramadan for those of you who participate in Ramadan. And I also hope that you guys all have a really blessed Eid. And for those of you who are not Muslim or do not participate in Eid and Ramadan, still, I do hope you guys are all doing well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.